Hey friends, Powwow guy Rob Phoenix here. Hope you're all doing well on this beautiful day. Um, I was just kind of hanging out here on the patio. I did some gardening this morning and I watered everything and walked dogs and did a little bit of weeding in the vegetable garden. Then I was sitting out here reading a book, just looking through the Cunning Men's Grimoire, which I've talked about many times. But um, as in my opinion, the ancestor of Pennsylvania Dutch powwow. I find it interesting to see how the people who came before us were doing things, and then how it compares to how we do things now. And one of the one of the things that I find interesting about the Cunning Men tradition, despite the fact that it pretty much doesn't exist anymore, is that there were certain rules, certain bits of counsel, they call it, that everybody had to, like, in order to effectively work this magic, you had to adhere to these four principles. They call them aphorisms. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. But they were interesting. There's four basic things you have to meet, four principles you have to follow, whatever. Um, it says, here follow certain aphorisms of advice and counsel of behavior in these following magical operations, not fit for every man's understanding. And that's, we still hold true to that. That powwow is not for everyone. Not everyone will understand the tradition of Pennsylvania Dutch powwow. They won't understand how, a lot of people don't understand that concept of letting go, like completely letting go and putting it in God's hands. A lot of people don't get that. They can't wrap their minds around it, and that's okay. That just means maybe a different path is more appropriate for them. Um, anyway, so powwow, powwows, to some extent, we still follow these guidelines from the cunning traditions. So anyway, it says magical operations not fit for every man's understanding, nor for any unfaithful infidels and unbelievers. So in other words, people who don't believe in the Holy Trinity or in the work, this is not for them. And that's okay. There are other things that they can do. This just is not one of them. So here they are. Here they are. The first one is, now this is written in old archaic English, so I'm just going to summarize it for you. The first one is that if you want to know secrets and learn them, then you need to keep them as secrets, revealing only those things that are meant to be revealed, and keeping secret those things are meant to be kept secret. And so we have a remnant of that today. Uh, how I was taught from one person to another. And generally speaking, there are no oaths binding us to anything. However, if the person teaching us says, "Do not share this with anyone," then we just can't. It's part of our tradition. It's a taboo. Um, it's just one of our beliefs that if we were to go against that, if the teacher expressly says, "Don't share this with anyone," then we just can't, because if we betray that, um, we believe that we've lost the right to powwow, and we could very well lose that ability because we no longer understand the sacred bits of the tradition. So therefore, it would not be for us anymore. There are very few things that I've learned, very few that I've learned and was asked to keep confidence about. However, these secrets too also can be revealed to us by God. And therefore, if God reveals something to us, that's just for us. That doesn't mean it's for the whole world. That doesn't mean it even applies to anybody else. It only applies to us. So if God speaks directly to us in whatever ways he chooses to do so, and we learn something from that communication, that's just for us. We cannot impose that on other people, and we should not share that with other people. So anyway, that's the first one. Is basically if you want to learn secrets, you have to learn how to keep them. Only reveal things that should be revealed. They say here, do not throw pearls to swine or holy bread to dogs. In other words, don't give away stuff, information or secrets or charms and rituals and communications with God that are powerful to people who are swine or dogs in the negative sense. The second principle is that in all things that you do, you call upon God. Take nothing in hand without calling on the name of God by hearty and faithful prayer through the merits and mediation of Jesus Christ. So in other words, everything we do should be done in the name of God. So this is probably the hardest one because we're just humans. We're not perfect. All of our choices will not be godly or inspired by God. But the general rule of thumb is before you make a decision, before you say something, that's going to be important or have an effect on someone or something, ask yourself, is what I'm about to do inspired by God, or is it inspired by the devil or ego? I've been guilty of this myself too. I just speak or say things or do things, in frustration or anger. That's not the godly way to do it. That allows ego to take precedence over God, and ego and the devil go hand in hand. So I believe that's how the devil gets us, through our ego. And it's really hard, really, really hard to live your life and make all of your choices, words, actions, and deeds as godly as possible. But that's the goal. Not everybody's not anybody is gonna make it 100%, but the point is that we try. So the third principle is that you should avoid the society of the multitude of people. Basically, this is don't follow the crowd, don't follow the herd. It says here, man was created to serve God and do good to others, and therefore be diligent, and let the word of God never depart from thee, nor cease to pray. So in other words, don't let other people persuade you. Don't let others' opinions or beliefs or lack thereof discourage you from your own path and your own beliefs. Don't let people say that there's something wrong with you because you believe in God. Just be diligent in that. So remain strong and true to your faith. And that's especially important when working a magical tradition like powwowing, because the entire foundation of powwowing is our connection to God. We should do our best not to waver on it. Again, we're not going to be perfect, but we should try. The fourth one is that we avoid procrastination, malice, envy. Do not rest not upon thine own wisdom, but in all things have respect to the true God, which has created all things in heaven and earth, and resist the temptations of the devil. In other words, try not to get pulled into those things which are going to prevent you from doing the work. Procrastination is a big one. I can rephrase this in a better way. Years and years ago, I realized that when I was doing this magic, it worked because I knew it would, because I said it would, and it will. And that's not me, that's God. But I was also a person who, when I said I was going to do something, I did it. I don't wait. I don't like to put things off. I say, you know what, I'm gonna work in the garden today, and then I do it. And then I become a person of my word. I'm gonna give this to you or share this with you, and I do that. Then I'm a person of my word. Um, Now we can't always keep our promises, there are times when I said to Josani we would do something on such and such a day. Then something came up. Maybe I didn't have the money then, or maybe something happened, or I had to work or whatever. And so sometimes life can be a little disappointing. But if you're a person of your word, like if you say you're going to do something, then you do it, you feel that pride, like I'm proud of myself that I accomplished this. I'm a person of my word. And therefore, when you are working magic or working a prescription on somebody or whatever, you're a person of your word. So you say this is what's going to happen. And that confidence is projected up there. That helps it get to God, I believe. Like we have to be confident in what we do. And we can't be confident with what we do if we're like wishy-washy in life, if we constantly just like let ourselves down and don't accomplish anything. And, we're just like lazy people. We don't do anything. And, we say like, oh, I'm gonna start a diet, and then we don't. Oh, I'm gonna get some housework done, and then we don't. Then we're not people of our word, and that's really important. So anyway, I think these are really good bits of advice to live by. Even if you're not doing any kind of magical tradition, again, it's hard, like if you want to learn the secrets of magic and such, you know, learn what to keep secret, learn what to reveal, learn what not to reveal. Um, Everything you do should be done in the name of God. Is it inspired by God? Then it's probably good. If it's not, if it's inspired by ego or the devil, then it's probably not good. Don't let people discourage you. Avoid this society of the multitude of people. Don't let people discourage you from your faith, and also be a person of your word. So I think this is great life advice. I think this is really, really important stuff for um, if you would be a powwower or a hexenmeister, that any of that spectrum of Pennsylvania Dutch folk magic. And certainly I would hope that anybody that I teach will try to maintain that. Again, all we can do is try. Will we fail? Of course we will. Time and again, we'll fall off the wagon or whatever the phrase is, but we're just human beings and that's okay. So anyway, that's all I want to talk about. It's just one more thing that I found of interest. And I really like that, in order to flesh out the tradition as we have it now, we can look back in time and see what it was before it got here to Pennsylvania. So that's all I have for today. I hope everybody's doing well. Amazing weather again. It is Saturday, June 15th. Next weekend is Phoenix Day. We celebrate the adoption of our son. We celebrate our marriage. Whatever else. It's just our annual family cookout picnic. So all local friends are invited. It's going to be a good time. But anyway, that's all I have for now. So I hope everybody's doing well. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. God bless you guys. Love you. And let's talk soon.